There are moments when life grips you so suddenly that it feels as if Allah Himself is placing a hand over your heart, freezing the world around you, and whispering, "Listen, this pain you're carrying alone, this heaviness you hide behind your smile, this silent battle you think no one sees, it matters, and it's leading you somewhere you cannot yet imagine." And maybe that's why you stopped scrolling right now, because some part of you, the part exhausted from pretending, from holding everything in, from walking through storms with no umbrella but faith, recognizes that this message is for the version of you that whispers, "Ya Rab," into the darkness when the world is asleep, the version of you that tries to stay strong but has moments where your heart sinks so deep you wonder if you will ever rise again. And believe me when I say, you are not weak for feeling this. You are not broken for struggling. You are simply standing in the middle of a transformation that only looks like destruction because you can't see what Allah is building behind the scenes. And yes, I know the silence hurts. The kind of silence where your du'as feel unanswered, where your efforts feel unseen, where you wonder why the path keeps getting steeper, just when you thought you were finally finding your way. But there is a timeless truth woven through every hardship you've survived. Allah makes life tighten around you right before He opens it. He makes the night darker right before the dawn breaks. He tests the hearts He wants to elevate, not to punish them, but to purify them, to strengthen them, to prepare them for what they asked for, even if they no longer remember asking. Because sometimes the things you pray for require the version of you that emerges only after being pressed, stretched, humbled, and shaped by trials. And maybe that's why you're here, in this stage of your life where you're fighting battles no one knows about. Carrying fears you don't talk about. And trying to hold on to faith, even when hope feels thin. But look closer at your journey. Every time you felt like breaking, you held on longer than you thought possible. Every moment you faced alone, Allah was closer to you than your jugular vein. Every tear you shed in secret was counted. Every sigh was heard. Every plea was stored. Because your Lord never ignores a heart that calls on Him, even when the timing feels unbearable. And maybe you wonder why life becomes the heaviest right before it gets better. Why the tests intensify just when you feel you've reached your limit. But that is the spiritual physics of transformation. Just like the bow must be pulled backward before the arrow is launched forward. Just like the seed must be buried in darkness before breaking open toward the light. Your soul must go through constriction before expansion. And the pressure you feel now isn't punishment, it's propulsion. Preparing you for the exact future you've been begging Allah for. And I know, it's so easy to feel forgotten when your life becomes quiet, when your phone stops ringing, when the people you thought would stay drift away, when the doors you were sure would open remain shut. But the Prophet Muhammad taught us that Allah is closest to the brokenhearted, which means that the silence you're sitting in right now isn't abandonment. It's divine closeness, disguised as solitude. A sacred space where Allah is rearranging the pieces of your destiny in ways you'll only understand later. And if you look back on your life with honesty, you'll see the pattern. The moments you thought would destroy you became the very moments that taught you who you are. The heartbreaks you thought you could never endure reshaped you into someone wiser, softer, more resilient. The setbacks you mistook for endings were actually detours toward blessings you didn't even know to pray for. And that's the beauty of being a believer. Your story is never just random events, never just chaos, never just pain. Your story is written by the one who knows the secrets of your chest, the fears behind your silence, the strength you don't recognize yet. And He promises again and again that with hardship comes ease, not after hardship, but with it. Meaning the ease is already on its way, already intertwined with your struggle, already growing beneath the surface of your frustration. And maybe you can't see it yet, because you're still in the chapter where the character is tested before they triumph. Still, in the part where the mountain feels too steep and the road feels too long. But even that has wisdom, because Allah never burdens a soul beyond what it can bear. So if He placed you in this moment, it's because He sees a strength in you that you haven't discovered, a resilience you haven't tapped into, a faith that is about to awaken in ways you never thought possible. And maybe you're thinking, but I'm tired. I'm really tired. And I hear you, because faith doesn't mean you don't feel exhaustion. It means you believe something greater is unfolding, even while you're exhausted. And sometimes the most sincere act of worship is simply refusing to give up. Whispering, Astaghfirullah, Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. Even when your voice shakes, even when your heart aches, even when your mind tells you there's no point. Because every moment you hold on to Allah, He is holding on to you with infinite strength. And there will come a day sooner than you think, when you look back at this chapter and realize that the hardship didn't break you. It rebuilt you, redirected you, refined you in ways comfort never could. And in that moment, you will understand why Allah allowed the storm, why He closed the doors, why He removed the people, why He made you walk through nights you didn't think you'd survive. Because He wasn't taking from you, He was making space, shifting your path, protecting you from what you couldn't see, guiding you toward what is written for you. And once that realization settles in your heart, something powerful happens. Your fear softens, your faith strengthens, your steps become steadier, and you begin to see life not as a series of setbacks, but as a series of sacred lessons, each one carving you into someone capable of holding the blessings that are on their way. And when that internal shift takes root, when you start trusting Allah, not only when things make sense, but especially when they don't, you rise slowly at first, then all at once, because faith is like a sunrise. It starts small, barely noticeable, then gradually it illuminates everything, until suddenly what once felt impossible becomes inevitable. What once felt heavy becomes purposeful, and what once felt like the end becomes the beginning of a story you didn't know your soul was capable of living. And as you rise, as your heart strengthens, as your spirit awakens, the momentum builds, and you begin to realize that every silent battle you fought was preparing you for a life where your faith becomes unshakable, where your resilience becomes your armor, where your reliance on Allah becomes your peace, and you step into a version of yourself that feels grounded, guided, empowered in a way you've never felt before, because you finally understand that hardship was never meant to break you. It was meant to build you into someone unstoppable with Allah by your side. And as this journey crescendos into a quiet, powerful calm, I want you to breathe for a moment and hear this with your heart. You are not alone, not for a single heartbeat, not for a single night, not for a single tear. Allah has been with you in every unseen moment, carrying you through chapters you thought would drown you. And the fact you are here now, listening to these words, is proof that your story is still unfolding. Your purpose is still alive, and your next chapter will not mirror your last, because Allah writes better endings than anything you could imagine. And as this monologue softens into its final breath, I just want to say, if this message touched something deep within you, if it reminded you of your strength, your faith, your journey, know that you are always welcome back here, where voices like this continue to remind you of who you are and what you're capable of. And if you'd like a place where your heart is understood and your growth is honored, you're always invited to return to Elevation Insights, a space built to lift you higher, gently, sincerely, and with love.